Richard Wright in goal has been a talking point for their fans. In fact, goalkeeping issues dominate tonight's Friday preview. Jonathan Blake has more.
10 goals conceded in 3 games is hardly a stat Richard Wright is proud of, and his error at Sheffield United in midweek ended Ipswich's hopes of securing their first championship win of the season. So pressure on him and his manager ahead of their trip to fellow strugglers Barnsley.
We keep saying it, we're all in it together. Unfortunately for a goalkeeper, we all know we've been in football long enough. You know, if you make a mistake, it tends to end up in the back of the net. But listen, Wrighty's made some good saves for us as well, and we need to remember that.
Joe Lewis kept his first clean sheet of the season for Peterborough in the Carling Cup, but has yet to do so in the league. Can he and Posh stop the rot at home to Nottingham Forest? Paul Lambert's already decided which goalkeeper to play for Norwich against third-place Bristol Rovers in League One. But who will it be? Fraser Forster returns after suspension, but Declan Rudd, who deputised for him, certainly impressed with a midweek clean sheet against Leyton Orient.
His kicking and his distribution of the ball is very, very good. Even though he's really young and he might have a mistake sometimes, but regarding his 2 performances, he's been excellent for him.
Elsewhere, Adi Boothroyd's Colchester look to protect a 5-game unbeaten run when they host Huddersfield, but midfielder David Perkins has gone on loan to League 2 Chesterfield. And having given away an injury-time penalty which cost them defeat at Brentford on Tuesday, Southend's Frank Musa is desperate to make amends when the Shrimpers visit Stockport. Donovan Blake, Anglia News.
And Norwich boxer Jon Thaxton has a make-or-break fight as he looks to regain his British lightweight title tomorrow night. The fight against John Murray in Altrincham follows 2 straight defeats, including the loss of his European title to Anthony Mesoget back in February. Thaxton says it's an opportunity to show he still has the credentials to win belts at European and world levels. You can see it live on ITV4.
Well, a royal visit to report on now. The King and Queen of Malaysia have been visiting Lotus cars at Hethel in Norfolk. The King even took one of the sports cars for a spin on the company's racetrack.
But despite His Majesty's very keen interest, well, hardly anyone called him by his full name. Natalie Gray now explains why.
I'm waiting for the King and Queen of Malaysia. I'd love to tell you what they're called, but I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce their names. The King has 20 words in his alone. Here's someone who can help me out. He's from the royal household.
Her Majesty Sri Paduka Baginda the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Wasiku Billah Tuanku Mizan Zainal Abidin Ibni Almarhum Sultan Mahmud Al-Muqtafi Billah Shah. Well, I did it, huh?
The Malaysian state-owned car company Proton acquired Lotus in 1996, and this is the first visit by the current rulers. There's an awful lot of etiquette to observe. For a start, no one is supposed to wear yellow because that's the royal colours. You should never have your back to them, and pointing is an absolute no-no.
If we want to point to them something, we use the thumb rather than this finger. We use this.
The couple and their 2 youngest children got to see the latest sports car, an Evora, which will set you back about £50,000. They learnt about Lotus's return to Formula 1 racing next year after an absence of 15 years, and the King got to go for a spin. And it was quite a day for the new Lotus Group Chief Executive Officer, Danny Bayer, formerly of Red Bull and Ferrari, for this was his first day in the job.
A start in a new job cannot be better than be supported by the King of Malaysia to give his go and to give his support to start such a new adventure.
Afterwards, the King left for a round of golf and the Queen went to the National Trust House at Blickling. And if you're wondering what their names are again, then here's a reminder.
Sri Paduka Baginda the Yang di-Pertuan Agong.
Natalie Gray, Anglia News, Hethel in Norfolk.
Another exciting day for Lotus. They're obviously going back into Formula 1, so yeah, big exciting day. And Royal Seal of Approval.
I know, well, I've got the King's name here. Do you want to have a go at it, Rihanna?
Not a chance. We haven't got time.
No,
anyway.
we haven't.
No, shame.
Finally, Take That's recent comeback may have surpassed all expectations, but for one boy from Essex, it's proved to be even more momentous.
Yes, 12-year-old Jake Peach, who's from Southend, has been fighting leukemia, and when he woke recently from a month-long coma, he says that it was listening to their tunes that helped him to pull through.
So you can just imagine his surprise when singer-songwriter Gary Barlow caught wind of Jake's story and popped in to meet him. Sally Rourke reports.
Very tired today. Exhausted.
And little wonder, this was Jake Peach fighting leukemia. At his worst, he was in an induced coma.
When I see those photos, I think it's another person, because it just doesn't look like me. You're kind of happy that you're getting treated, sad that you're away from your friends and family, angry that you've got cancer, and so angry that you're not doing stuff and stuck in hospital. It's difficult. But I'm here now. And that's what matters.
And so did his courage and attitude. While in hospital, Jake made this video diary to help others.
But I have to take this stand here with the pumps, which pumps it through my Hickman line.
He's helped raise more than £700,000 for Great Ormond Street Hospital. And throughout it all, one song helped him on his way.
Just have a little patience.
I used to sing Patience until 4 in the morning, and I kept the ward awake all night just singing that.
So imagine his surprise when one man behind that song, Take That's Gary Barlow, turned up to tell him he'd won a Pride of Britain award.
Oh my God!
I'm looking for Jake. Do you know where he is?
I just burst into tears because the feeling is so overwhelming. You can't describe it. It's just, he's a legend. So rock on, Gary Barlow. He opened the envelope and he pulled out that.
And that's where Jake is heading from his home in Halstead next week.
The whole ceremony is very emotional anyway, but just to have your child up there as well, it's going to be unbelievable.
It's been a tough journey for Jake into remission, but all he needs now, until the awards, is a little patience. Sally Rourke, Anglia News, in Halstead in Essex.
What a brave lad, eh? Yeah. And that Gary Barlow, such a nice man.
Jake deserved him, didn't he?
Certainly
And much
does.
more.
And if you'd like to see more of that, then you can tune into the Mirror's Pride of Britain Awards. That's on ITV1 at 8 o'clock next Wednesday night.
Now, with what's coming up on the ITV National News, here's Julie Etchingham.